All right, some thoughts on the morning drive. Well, if you saw the news yesterday, we had a horrible thing happen in Michigan as a deranged shooter drove his truck through the front of a Mormon church during services, got out and started shooting, apparently shot 10 people, and then set the church on fire before he was taken out by police. It's a horrible situation, but I'll be honest with you, we don't know anything about his politics. There's nothing about that. There's no indications much about him except that he had been a Marine who served in Iraq and had claimed PTSD, but he was also a family man. But I'll tell you what I see. I see President Trump speaking at the United Nations recently, and he excoriated the United Nations for doing nothing on the world stage to protect Christians. I see anti-Semitism on college campuses being left untouched with nobody really doing anything to rein it in. I see a deranged transgender shooter go to a Catholic church recently in Minnesota and shoot children as they prayed. You see Charlie Kirk being assassinated by someone who obviously did not share his beliefs. And at the same time now we see this guy go through a Mormon church's front door and kill innocent people. What I see is an attack on faith. That's what I'm seeing. It's not always about politics. Sometimes it's simply about the idea that anyone should have a position of faith. And that can't be tolerated either. The idea that we have a First Amendment right to a freedom of religion, the right to worship, cannot be infringed by government, certainly. But government also has to support the effort to try and protect people from having that right infringed by others who would be criminal in their actions to try and stop it. Yeah, I see an attack on faith. That's what I see. And I believe that believers need to be praying over our nation and praying for safety. And don't let it stop. Hebrews 10:24 says, "Let us not forsake our assembling together, and all the more as we see the day drawing near." Let us consider how we can encourage one another to love and good deeds, actually, is what it says too. So yeah, I see an attack on faith. People of faith need to rise up.